just finished I Feel Bad About My Neck by Norah Efron in the exactly 3 hours that I was at the beach. I went swimming, a wonderful beach read. A wonderful 3 hours of my life. I was literally just kicking my feet in the water and giggling to myself and just feeling very grateful. I'm just so content. You know, you just read a really good book. This just feels like a little slice of lemon cake. Like, look at that cover and everything on it. Like, this was such a treat. And I feel so full. I really needed to just like fill my cup today and this week, and this was just, oh goodness, this was so delightful. This was so good. The June TBR really pulled through. This is the first book that I'm finishing of my June TBR. I think I want to start Twilight Sleep by Edith Wharton. Norah Efron did reference reading all of Edith Wharton's works, and it just got me really excited to read again. I just always am excited to read, but Edith Wharton, I think Twilight Sleep will be my next book that I pick up. Hi. I have been caught in the rain. I've been wearing a hat. I had braids in. That combination is like mermaid, you know? It's like beautiful down here and then a little fishy up top. Anyway, I started filming this vlog at the end of May. Woof. It was like right after I was done being sick, went to an art fair, went for the first swim of the year. That was all in May. And now it is the end of June. And this is my first actual like sit down. June has been bananas. I hope you all are doing really well. First off, thank you so much for being here. This is the most hodgepodge vlog because I randomly filmed all of the fun highlights of my life. Like these are all like spaced out tiny little moments in a really busy month. It was delightful. I spent so much time outside, which was actually my goal and my priority. Was I wanted to be outside as much as possible, and not just outside of like my house or my neighborhood, but like seek out full sections of nature where like I'm the only one there. And it's quiet and I can just be in nature without people, without cars, without highways. And that has been the highlight of the month, honestly. Alongside of the fact that June is garage sale season. My favorite season of all time. And I have a lot of fun projects coming up whenever I do have time to actually work on them, which that time does not exist yet. Just stay tuned. Very exciting things are happening and coming, and my life is coming together and things are starting to make sense. And I'm just excited to see where the future goes with all that. It was garage sale season. I stumbled upon an outdoor sidewalk book sale where everything was $1. So I have cheap, incredible, amazing books that I want to share with you all. I'm going to talk briefly about some books that I've read recently, and then a really fun little mini book haul. Okay, some updates of what I've been reading. I did finish early in this vlog There's No Such Thing as an Easy Job. This is by Kikuko Tsumura, translated from Japanese into English by Polly Barton. I did not really like this. I'm sure I could go into a more eloquent diatribe about like what didn't work for me, but this was boring and I didn't really care, and I just kept reading it because I kept thinking maybe there would be a little bit more of a surrealist aspect. On the back it did say something about it actually using the word surreal and mysterious, even supernatural, and I mean borderline, but not fully there for me. This was not memorable at all. I love the cover, I love the feel of it. This is just like the most buttery, thick, floppy paperback, which is divine to me personally. But yeah, it took me a while to get through this one, and I just didn't really enjoy it. And then the ending felt like such an on-the-nose end of a high school paper, in conclusion, regurgitation of what the novel was and like spoon-feeding it to us, which if you've been here for a long time, you know, I hate it when books do that. Like, don't tell me what the premise was or what the concept was, what I should be getting out of it, what was the moral lesson. I don't like that. I'm not stupid. This is more of a modern release. What can I say? Modern releases chronically disappoint me. So there's that. Not a fan. I would love to pass this on and just have it circulate out into the world, and maybe someone will resonate with it a little bit more than me. In short, this is about a woman who decides to leave her corporate job, and we kind of figure out later on that she left due to being like severely burnt out. Like she was diagnosed with burnout syndrome. It's her at a temp agency trying to figure out different jobs where she doesn't have to use too much emotional thinking, mental capacity, or even physical capacity, and she can just kind of skirt by. So there's no such thing as an easy job. It's her bouncing from these jobs, realizing that no matter how easy a job sounds on paper, emotions are always going to be involved. People are always going to ask more of you than what's in your job description, and work is weird. And then the corporate world is weird. So that's kind of the premise of that, and it will tell you all about that at the very end of the book as well. So I also read and listened to quite a few nonfiction books, some essays, some psychological books. I am a huge fan of psychology. I love learning new things, and I find it really, really fascinating. So when there's an author that makes it really accessible, because I don't have a degree in psychology or anything like that, I just really eat it up. And I really enjoyed all the nonfiction I read. I don't really want to get into it fully because it's not my area of expertise, but just know that I've been learning new things and I've been really enjoying the perspectives I've been engaging with. Those topics that interest me so much, like really geek me out. And then speaking of essays and nonfiction, I also read, as you saw, I Feel Bad About My Neck and Other Thoughts on Being a Woman. This is by Norah Efron. Collection of stories, absolutely delightful. Several years ago now, I befriended this sweet older woman, and we just really hit it off, and she had a copy of this book in her apartment, and I would go over there on Sundays for tea, and we would just chat and catch up, and it was really wonderful. I remember starting to read this at her apartment, and I just fell in love, and I love Norah Efron already. I've always been keeping an eye out for an edition of my own, and I read this all in one sitting on the beach with a little PB&J. I adored this. This felt like having tea with a friend. It felt so relatable, but also this nostalgic bygone era of phone books, of calling up your friends just to chat, sitting down at your messy desk to write, early explorations of the internet, what it's like to find the perfect purse for you. I just love this stuff so much. I love this kind of writing. I love just the simple, ordinary beauty of life. And Norah Efron is definitely someone who romanticized everyday life, and I adored it. Loved this. Quick little wrap up for you all. I listened to a few other audiobooks. I am going to Iceland next month in July, which I am so unbelievably excited for. See if I end up vlogging for it, but essentially I've been trying to read a little bit more of Icelandic literature, so I found a few books that were free through my library, through Hoopla, Libby, and they've just been really fun. So I'm learning a little bit of the language, not a whole lot, just enough to get me by. It's a very challenging language, that's for sure. Does anyone speak Icelandic? I would love to know. If anyone here is from Iceland, that would be cool. Garage sale / sidewalk sale haul. Eep. So the sidewalk sale that I ran into, where everything was $1. So many wonderful science fiction books. I knew I had to pick one up. This caught my eye immediately. This is The Ice People. Look at that cover. This is by René Barjavel. It is translated from French by Charles Lam Markman. This got me so excited, and I kind of feel like I want to bring this with me to Iceland. I feel like I can see myself reading this on a plane, and it's just like an adventure, an action, a thriller. I still have to do my July TBR. We'll see if it just like happens to fall in there. But I think regardless, I might just bring this. So surprise, I'm putting this on my TBR. So it reads, enclosed in a golden sphere buried deep in the Antarctic ice are the bodies of a man and a woman. They are young, healthy, perfectly preserved, lone survivors of a superior civilization that existed 900,000 years ago. I love that stuff so much. I'm freaking out. Okay, but as they are awakened from their frozen, I'm getting so excited. But as they are awakened from their frozen sleep by anxious scientists, and the woman recounts the life of their idyllic prehistoric world, a strange, inexorable nightmare begins. The blurb says it has been compared to the works of Voltaire and Jules Verne. Shut up, shut up, shut up. I can't wait to read this. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna read this when I'm in Iceland. Oh my gosh, so it was originally published in 1970, and then it looks like the translation was 1971. So this is beautiful. It is so gorgeous. I can't get over this. I have to read this when I'm in Iceland. I have to. It smells so good. It's so old. I am probably the most geeked out about this. I say that and then I look at my next book and I'm like, maybe not. Okay. During my garage sailing, I actually found a book that I've been wanting to read forever. This has been on my TBR since it came out, question mark. That is The Water Cure by Sophie Mackintosh. Oh my gosh. I remember seeing this cover 2018. Oh my gosh, this came out in that's kind of frightening. So I definitely saw this probably like on Goodreads then. Yeah, oh gosh, I'm so excited. This reads, King has tenderly staked out a territory for his wife and 3 daughters, Grace, Leah, and Sky. Here on his island, women are protected from the chaos and violence of men on the mainland. The cult-like rituals and therapies they endure fortify them from the spreading toxicity of a degrading world. But when King disappears and 2 men and a boy wash ashore, the sisters' safe world begins to unravel. Over the span of one blistering hot week, a psychological cat-and-mouse game plays out. Sexual tensions and sibling rivalries flare as the sisters are forced to confront the amorphous threat the strangers represent. A haunting, riveting debut, The Water Cure is a fiercely poetic feminist revenge fantasy that's a startling reflection of our time. I am so excited. I am so freaking excited. I can't believe I finally found a copy of this. This is gonna be so fun. Bouncing back to our little $1 sale. Sorry, these are all just like in a random pile. So there's no rhyme or reason for these. If you, again, have been here for a while, or even as late as my last TBR jar challenge, the June one, we know I love water. I love and hate boats. Oh, I hate shipwrecks. It is so scary and I love it. Ships freak me out. Shipwrecks freak me out. Like the Great Lakes. And shipwrecks? Terrifying. And like bottom of the lake thing. So much. Like I love the endurance. Love the endurance. I've always loved Titanic stories. Like I was the little kid who was like obsessed with the Titanic. I would play shipwreck with my friends during recess. My friends, I act as if I had friends. I had one friend. Her and I would play Shipwreck Island. Ships scare me and I love them so much. And I have a book of The Haunting of Great Lakes. I got it several years ago. That's been featured in many of my videos, but I'm just too scared to read it. So then I saw this scholastic version of True Sea Stories. This is by Henry Brook. The reason I picked this up was because I actually recently picked up another like young adult book called Morning Girl. It's in one of my vlogs. I'll link it down below if you want to see it. And I just had so much fun with it because it was so delightful. Normally I kind of avoid children's lit or YA or anything like that, but I had such a wonderful time. This is such a well-loved, water-damaged book, and it is just true stories. Oh. I mean, for $1, come on. There's the USS Indianapolis from the Second World War, the first sailor to solo travel around Cape Horn. There are also stories of prisoners and enslaved people on ships. Cute little illustrations. There are maps in here. A lighthouse heroine. I thought this would be a little bit easier for me to read because I know I want to read my Haunting of the Great Lakes book soon. But it just genuinely does freak me out. And I think that'd be kind of fun for like a rainy summer so far. So maybe I can manifest that happening in my like July TBR, August TBR, even in the fall, ooh, like spooky season. Maybe I should read it for the like Halloween. But anyway, for now I have this. I think it's really fun, very like much more accessible. Small stories, but I still get to learn, which I really like. I really hope Winston stays where he is, because he is sleeping on his bed on my desk right now, and I would love to show you all. I have next The Itch. This is by Benilde Little. This is so cool. Love the cover. Y'all, this is described as a nuanced Edith Wharton style treatment of the upper reaches of Black society. And I am currently reading Twilight Sleep by Edith Wharton. More to talk about with that one later. I am enjoying it immensely. I just honestly have not had any time to read. I'm gonna start instilling stricter reading rules for myself that I need to read X amount per day because I'm just not progressing as much as I would like to because my schedule has honestly just been bananas. So anyway, this sounds awesome. This follows Abra Lewis Dixon is the envy of the fashionable professional women of her well-heeled social circle. She leads a charmed life, having attended all the right schools, married the right man, and started a successful film production company with her best friend, and seems like an ambassador from the world of perfection. It is only when her impeccable marriage turns suddenly shaky that her utopia is left in pieces. And this was published in the 80s or 90s, 1998. When I was skimming through it, I was already, just the opening paragraph in here is about this main protagonist, Abra, and she reminds me so much already of Mrs. Manford in Twilight Sleep. Very type A, has her shit on lock, but is very focused on wellness and perfection and health and image, and is just this kind of like floating figure, you know, she like floats through life. And that's what I imagined in this. Abra Lewis Dixon had carefully sculpted her exterior existence. She paid close attention to her physical environment, the trunk formation of a Japanese maple, the many red shades that came before its brilliant autumnal crimson. She regularly consulted her farmer's almanac so she could better predict the weather. She liked to be prepared. The interior stuff, however, was too unwieldy, unpredictable, and difficult. She left that unattended, willing herself to believe it insignificant. She sat at the oak vanity her mother had given her as a housewarming gift. And then it just goes on, but like just standing and reading this first, because the back intrigued me, but I always want to read the first few, like at least paragraph, to see if there are words that really jump out at me. And I wanted to keep reading this. The last line on this page is, a different potion squeezed from a tube was dabbed under her eyes. And I've been reading so many wonderful, through the female lens, books throughout the decades. I read The Ex-Wife by Ursula Parrott, reading Twilight Sleep, like I'm forgetting a few now, but they've all been incredible. And I feel like this can really join the ranks of my own personal canon of underrated, needs way more attention. So I'm really excited. That is The Itch. I am itching to get to this one, honestly. It's a lot of dialogue flipping through it, which I just think is really fun and hopefully a really good character study because I'm enjoying Twilight Sleep so much. This feels very similar in tandem, similar themes, but from a Black female perspective, which I love, and I'm super geeked. The only brand new book I bought myself was because I went to a comic book store. Dangerous! I found and fell in love with a manga I have never heard of, and that is A Sign of Affection. This is by Sue Morishita, and this is actually book 1, 2, and 3. Look at how beautiful this is! Oh my, this is the thickest. It's just so grabbable. Yuki, who's always been deaf, is used to communicating with sign language in her phone, but she's not used to English, so when a tourist from overseas asks for directions, she nearly panics until a handsome stranger steps in to help. His name is Itsuomi. A charismatic globetrotter, Itsuomi speaks 3 languages, but he's never had a deaf friend. The two feel drawn to each other, but Yuki's friend is afraid that she might be setting herself up to get hurt. Could this be something real, or will these feelings melt away with the snow? And flipping through this and reading the first few pages, I had actual butterflies. And I'm not a romance reader, but I love love stories. I love. I mean, I'm a wedding photographer, for Pete's sake. Like, I love, like just a deep love story. And this is definitely that. This will they, won't they. Even the illustrations in this are there's so much space. And I love when there's negative space because there's just room to feel the tension. There's room to feel like every glance means something. I don't know how to explain it. And then there are just scenes where it's like really snowy and open and there are no words because the main protagonist is deaf and lives in her own like more insular world. And then this guy wants to learn her world and be a part of her world and to like have her teach her and have her teach him her world. I can't speak. Have her teach him her world. I had butterflies. I felt so saccharine in the best way, not in like a cheesy kind of way. The last book that I picked up from the yard sale is this funky little doodad. I love this. This is called Couchwarmer. It is by Kramer. Look at that cover. I'll just read you some of the words that stand out to me from the blurbs. Marriage of a classic whodunit and a spoof of world-class urban pretentiousness. We know, I love that. Amphetamine-driven style, alternative art culture, humor, fun. The bottom of this does read a laundromat adventure, so I'm not sure if this is part of a series or if that's just a subtitle. Regardless, let me tell you the plot of this kooky thing. Like, I love this kind of stuff so much. The gods looked the other way when Cherry Beach came into the world. First off, the name. I'm always drawn to a kooky name like that. With a troubled birth compounded by ambiguous gender, her careening life trajectory has involved recreating him/herself many times and living on an endless succession of other people's couches. At the age of 31, Cherry Beach has found a sort of acceptance in the urban nightclub/party netherworld. I love a party girl book. Now, as the year draws to a frenzied close, Cherry faces yet another crisis. She has overstayed her welcome on the latest couch, and she's broke, chained to her job at the dying kennel club by an out-of-control bar tab, when she accidentally trips across a cachet of scratch-and-win lottery tickets. Visions of bottomless cocktails and stretch limos propel her into a mad slalom of greed that quickly attracts the denizens of her through-the-looking-glass demi-monde. The ensuing hunt for the grand prize ticket escalates towards a harrowing climax on New Year's Eve. Yes. I don't think I should even say anything more. Okay, my last 2 little books here are to get you excited about this upcoming venture that I will be going on as soon as maybe I'm back from Iceland is when I will announce very exciting things and have more time to get everything together. Let's just say you soon might have a chance to buy some of the books I've read. I just found 2 collections of stories that I think were really, really cool. The first is the Honeyed Piece. This is this beautiful old vintage Penguin Classic edition. So stunning, by Martha Gelhorn. This was first published in 1954, but some of the copyright stories are from 1937. So there are quite a few stories in here. It just looks incredible. The Honeyed Piece, Weekend at Grimsby, A Psychiatrist of One's Own, Cafe in Jaffa, The German, Venus Ascendant. These stories describe the shock effects of the Second World War on men and women in places as unrelated as Paris and Grimsby, Jaffa, Madrid, Kansas City, and Havana. This just follows so many different characters. There's an upper-class English girl, there's a Roman liaison, there's an old student of postal history, There's a lonely woman on a night flight from Miami, a Bulgarian refugee singing in a cheap cafe, a bewildered young combat photographer, a beautiful and sophisticated French woman. That's a really cool book that I found, and I had never heard of this collection before, and I think it's awesome. A really, really cool find, honestly. And then lastly, I have Love a Dover Thrift Edition, friends. They're so gorgeous. This is a pair of silk stockings and other stories by Kate Chopin. I really want to read this. So apparently this author is known for her vivid portrayals of Creole life in Louisiana, which I want to read so much more literature from that part of the world. So there are 9 stories in here. Can you believe it? It's so tiny. 9 stories containing one of her most famous works, Desiree's Baby, which is a haunting and ironic tale written with grace, delicate humor, and a keen understanding of the human, especially the female psyche. This just sounds incredible, and I'm going to be adding it to my TBR. So these are my recent thrift finds, secondhand books, sidewalk sales, garage sale finds that I accrued over the month of June. Like I said, I'm at the end of June when I'm filming this right now, and I can't wait. I just want to read all of these, y'all. I just want to like pause time for a little bit, and I just want to sit and read all of them. I'm just so flippin' excited. Wait, let me flip it over so you can see the spines too, because I think they're all so beautiful. Look at those. Oh my gosh. Thank you so incredibly much for being here, friends. I hope this was fun. I know it's probably not a normal vlog. I'm gonna try and piece it together as best as I can, but I don't think a lot of it will make sense. So hopefully you're just here for the vibes and like a fun little haul. Oh my gosh, a robin just landed on my windowsill. That was magical. Oh yeah, let me show you a quick little snap of Winston too. If you would like to leave a comment, but you're not sure what to say, please let us know what your favorite book of June was. What did you read? What did you enjoy? And if you don't want to be perceived in that way, I completely understand. Please feel free to leave us some emojis based on the book you read. The cover art, the title, what it's about. Thank you so incredibly much for being here, my friends. I appreciate you so much. I can't wait to see you all again very soon for my next video. Until then, stay cozy, my friends. Bye!